This is important now. Lock in on me now. All right, don't misquote me. And for you loons on the far left who watch this broadcast every night hoping to put a noose around my neck, all right, listen closely. The two phrases are both worthy. Black Lives Matter is certainly true. All lives matter is certainly true unless you're a pro-abortion person and don't believe that a fetus is a human being or would ever become a human being, I guess. So Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter both are valid, important statements, but they've been used to clash. So there was a broadcaster for the San Francisco Kings, Sacramento Kings, geez, I'm in a fog, Sacramento King basketball team, who was fired from his job because somebody asked him, well, what about Black Lives Matter? And he went, well, I think all lives matter. Bang, he's canceled. Because the implication is you're not supporting Black Lives Matter if you say all lives matter, which isn't true at all. So here's how I feel about it from an American point of view, not from a journalist point of view. When they put up the giant sign at Fenway Park this week that said Black Lives Matter on the outside of the stadium so everybody on the Mass Turnpike could see it, I said, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But right underneath, if you wanted to be a patriot and fair, which I don't believe the owner of the Red Sox really even considers, you put respect the police. Two messages, okay? Because both messages are important for the country. So when I hear people go Black Lives Matter, or I see somebody wearing a t-shirt that says it, or carrying a banner, I'm not offended and I don't get angry or upset. I think that is a noble sentiment because there have been far too many cases of African Americans being harmed in our society. Not only by whites, not only by police, but by other African Americans. Now, the blatant hypocrisy of the Black Lives Matter Global Foundation, that they have never said a word about the Holocaust in Chicago, where tens of thousands of African Americans have been killed by other African Americans. Not a word. That is just blatant hypocrisy from that Marxist group. And that group is in business to impose Marxism on the country and also to create racial division. That's what the Black Lives Matter global organization wants to do. Wants whites and blacks to hate each other. I mean, we've studied it. We know what they're in business to do. But most Americans don't know that. And they don't know the difference between the slogan Black Lives Matter and the organization based in Los Angeles. Right? They don't know. And the corporations that are funneling millions of dollars to the Black Lives Matter Global Foundation, most of them don't know either. There's a veil of ignorance around this whole thing. If you criticize the phrase Black Lives Matter, you'll be canceled. You'll lose your job, as the guy in Sacramento did. You'll be branded a white supremacist, whatever it may be. But that's not the major point I want to make. I think that every American should acknowledge that African Americans have had it much tougher than white Americans throughout history, and that almost all Black Americans have had experiences where their skin color has brought them negativity. I think any sane person would agree with that. But am I responsible for that? No, I am not. So you're going to punish me for that? I'm going to fight back. Are all the police responsible for that? No, they're not. A small percentage are. So there's always perspective.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.